Right, here we are, yeah, back. Suzuki Orwell's in Ipswich, marvellous. But what am I on now? Look at this, Kawasaki Vulcan S. Oh, brr, ding, sort of round clock, shaped like a loaf of bread, look, marvellous. Flattened, completely flattened mirrors, but let's see how we get on. Oh, listen to that. Sounds quite punchy. Forward controls. Oh yeah. Oh, angles very different on this. Let's get going and we'll have a mutter about it. Oh, that's if I can find the brake and the foot pegs. Now this feels very different to the Super Meteor. Yeah, it does. Never ridden one before. Let's see how we get on. Oh, angle on gear lever seems quite high up. Yeah, I'm struggling there with my foot, as you can see. But first time on it, we'll see how we get onto it. Maybe it's my long legs, I don't know. Yeah, I'll spend a bit of time getting used to it. And then we'll have a walk round and then the senses test. How does it make me feel? Well, it's very comfy. I've got to say, to sit on, it is very comfy. Controls, dead basic. Not a huge amount on it. No rider modes, anything like that. These swept back bars make it even more laid back. I know. Quite a nice sound from that exhaust. These aren't much more money than the Super Meteor. They don't look anywhere near as classic from it of it, but yeah, it's very, very different is what I'd say. So cruiser style, obviously. The speed is in numbers as opposed to a round clock. The round clocky bit is the rev counter, yeah. Yeah, this is once you get going, it's alright. Yeah, not bad at all. It feels like you're on a massive bike, but it's not very big. You'll see when we get there. Nice chap there, waving. So it's got massive weights on the end of the bars. I don't know if that's to make the bars feel bigger or to help the steering, I don't know. Like I say, basic controls. There's not a lot to do on it. Got a gear indicator, fuel gauge, and we're in fourth at the moment. Cars driving at us, marvellous. I'm now getting used to the foot position. Yeah, I made a pig's dinner of it at the start, but you know, first time on the bike. It's I guess it's a question of how quick you can acclimatise to something, isn't it? That's the important bit. And at the moment I'm just playing about with it, just trying to get used to it. So I'm not a great fan of the gearbox at the moment. It's alright when you get going, but I am struggling a little bit with it, but I'm sure that's just because I'm not used to that leg position and the foot position. Handling is fine, yeah, and it goes well enough. I mean, I'm only doing 50, which is probably a good cruising speed, isn't it, really? I'm all sort of new to this cruising business. But the bike seems it's got plenty of power, 60 brake horsepower, something like that. Don't know what the top speed is, but it's not important on a bike like this, is it? That's not what it's about. So my intention will be to go down here, get up that dual carriageway bit, come back and do a walk round. Oh, there's a grey here I keep trying to avoid, and there's a couple more on the next bend. Handling is just lovely. Brakes, no trouble at all. Those grates are in the wrong place. So we'll get up here. Yeah, lovely sound. Very comfortable. Yeah, that gearbox is fine, I'm getting used to it. It's me with my big clodhoppers, I reckon. But yeah, very comfortable bike. Once you're going, as long as you don't have to do anything. So what I'll do is I'll probably bring you back when we're going to do the walk round. Yeah. Right, so as you can tell, I know very little about this bike. I have often seen them and thought, oh, they look half decent, and it feels decent, but previously I've never been into cruisers, so I haven't paid that much attention to it. Of course, with the CMX 1100 and the Super Meteor under my belt now, I have a rough idea, and we'll maybe have a little mutter about that after we've done the walk round. From a comfort point of view, I'd say this is more comfortable than the Super Meteor. The back suspension I'm referring to mainly. What we got here? We've got a learner lorry. So what I'll do is I'll pull over here and we can have a look at it. Just here. I'll leave you in gear, I reckon. So ignition off, lift it in gear, visor up, side stand down, and over it goes. And it seems tiny when I stand up, yeah, but let's have a look at it. There you go. What do you reckon? It's quite a nice looking thing, isn't it? But let's change cameras. Right, here we go. Kawasaki Vulcan S. Quite a nice looking bike, isn't it, really? That big seat is dead comfy. And look at the exhaust, it's marvellous. Single disc on the front, alloy wheels, looks relatively easy to clean. Big radiator there, sort of built into it, pipes swept underneath. All in black, yeah, gloss black and matte black. The seat is huge and very comfy. Monoshock suspension, which, if you look at the angle of how that works, I think that's what makes it more comfortable than the Meteor. On the Super Meteor, it's like that, and it's straight to your coccyx. Yeah, it is. Suspicious looking headlight, yeah, that's what I'd say. It's not bad, but the angle, I find the angle of this, your foot's like that, and it's really difficult, I find it, because of my long legs, and I think that's what my problem is. Yeah, that's what I'd say. But overall, very comfortable to ride, very smooth when you get going, if you haven't got great gangly legs like mine. Yeah, a nice all-round bike, and not very expensive, not very much money at all. Yeah, marvellous. So here we are, back on board. Yeah, ignition on. Whoop, rolling backwards because I pulled the clutch in. Oh, bing. Oh, listen to that engine, quite a sweet sounding engine. Uphill start, of course. Let's go. See, I'm mastering that gear lever now. Yeah, and we're away, straight onto the senses. Taste, what would it taste like? Well, I think this is a stick of licorice. Yeah, no sherbet or anything, just a stick of licorice. I seem to have found the right position now, which is ironic, isn't it? Yeah. But there you go. Smell, well, it's a brand new bike, smells of nothing. Smells of hot metal and plastic, no smell of oil, nothing like that, just marvellous. Looks, well, it's cruiser, and I have looked at it, it's caught my eye every time I go into Orwell's, so I guess there must be something about it. I like the fact that all the controls are basic. I do. Handling, absolutely fine. And I seem to have found my feet a bit with it now. But you've got to speak as you find when you ride it. And you know, this isn't really a review. This is just a test ride. Yeah, my first ride. And I seem to have found how to ride it. Yeah, weird, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, to look at, it's cruiser. They do all different models, so you can get flashier looking ones as well. But yeah, oh, it's not bad now. So that's to look at, to touch and feel. Yeah, it's good quality. It's Kawasaki. You know, they've been making bikes a very long time, and they know how to do it. They certainly know how to do sports bikes. They certainly know how to do retros, and it appears they know how to make a mid-range cruiser, and they've been making it for some time now, let's be honest. Yeah. So then what we've got, the sound is pretty decent. It is. I bet you can make it louder as well. Yeah, I bet you can. But it's a pretty decent sound. So how does it make me feel? Well, if you'd have asked me before the walk round, God, I said it makes me feel incompetent. Yeah, I know. And I probably was being incompetent. How does it make me feel now? Well, I feel a lot more comfortable on it. And it is a very comfortable bike. Yeah. I should imagine you could probably ride a very long way on it. So there you go. I'm surprised getting off, walking around, having a think about it can make such a big difference. But there you have it. We've got lots of men in orange jackets here. What are they up to? Kelly Communications, there you go. Suspension is just fine. I suspect that the seat being so well padded and big and comfy, I've always thought that I had a small behind. Maybe it's that I've got a big behind. Yeah. So have I enjoyed it? Yeah, I have. Always a learning curve. What I'll do is I'll wait till we're through this traffic. I think in traffic because it's so low, I almost feel like I'm standing up when I stop. Yeah, I do. So maybe if you're a taller person, you might not get on so well with it, but I think I'd learn. I mean, I've only been on the bike a little while. Oh, naughty boy. There you go. Never before has so few CCs made so much noise. A naughty boy in the making. And there we're off. Yeah, and that time has come. Taking it back. How does it make me feel about taking it back? Well, I've enjoyed it. It's been learning. I would like more time. I'd like it for a day, I reckon. I reckon if I had a day on it, I'd probably end up absolutely loving it. But I don't know. At this stage, I maybe need to do this again. And see how we get on. Yeah, I think that's it. You know, some bikes you just don't gel straight away with, but what I have learned is you should never rule them out. Yeah, this low speed manoeuvring, again, it's a different position you need to get used to. Oh, look at that Interceptor, marvellous. So let's park this up here into neutral. There we go, ignition off, side stand down, everything intuitive, always is. Let's have a look. There we go, Kawasaki Vulcan S. quite an eyeful here at Orwell. Marvellous.